A very good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for joining us here at the exhibition inspired by Tekat. And today we've got a very special panel and talk which I'm very excited about. What I've learned from her, a Mother's Day conversation in conjunction with Mother's Day month. And yes, we're bringing together mothers and daughters who have at some point in their lives found themselves working together. And as we all know, working with family can be very rewarding and sometimes very character-building. Today, I think we'd like to explore how their journeys unfolded, the dynamics of working together, the challenges, the compromises, and what each generation has learned from each other. I'll do a quick introduction to the two mother-daughter pairs we have here today. I think most of you would know them. Firstly, we have Fatimah Ismail to my left, and her daughter Nini Marini. Fatimah is the founder of Chitra, or Malaysian Traditional Textile Lovers Association, and has been a long-standing advocate for Malaysian textile heritage. Her work comes from a personal commitment to preserving and sharing traditional textiles, recognizing that while these crafts are valued, these crafts are not always easily understood or accessible to wider audiences. Through Chitra, she's created platforms for artisans and the public to come together through exhibition, talks, and community programs. Her daughter Nini, I think for someone who most of us knows, represents the next generation within this journey. Nini began her career with media as a content executive before returning to become actively involved in Chitra, where she helped expand its reach to new audiences. She is currently with Yayasan Hasana, where she continues to support arts and culture and heritage initiatives at a broader level. Alongside, on a personal level, Nini is also a textile artist. Although I'm not sure if you have the kind of time to be an artist nowadays.
Oh no, still.
Still, okay. We also have with us to my far left, Sharifah, Naemah, and her daughter, Khairudin. Initially, Adilah Khairudin was supposed to be here with us today. But she's not able to make it, and I think Sharifah has said that this is her favorite daughter. So I think we're all even more privileged to have her with us today. Thanks for that. Sharifah is the founder of Poya, a Malaysian fashion label known for reinterpreting traditional Malay wear in a contemporary way. She began her journey in her home in the late 1990s, and through engagement with communities, recognized a desire for clothing that reflected a strong sense of cultural identity. Her daughter Katrina is Director of Operations and spearheads Poya Light, a sub-label under Poya, a boutique offering a more casual and contemporary take on traditional Malay-inspired fashion. Katrina is also a graduate from UK and went into education before she joined Poya. Alright, and with that introduction, I'm going to go into the questions. And I think to start us off, I'd really like to hear from the mothers, Fatimah and Sharifah. When you first began your businesses and organization, what was the spark or motivation behind it? Why did you start your business? Either way, who wants to start first?
Actually, I'm educated first. So when you say start business, I don't know what you're talking about. Is it
when you wanted to start Chitra first?
Chitra. Oh, Chitra was it was the Parameswaran who actually pushed me to set up the organization of Chitra, because she couldn't do it. She said, "Why don't you go ahead and have this association for textile people to be involved in, yeah." And so that one actually was an initial idea of Professor, he's passed on now, Professor Ramlan, one of my colleagues from UIT, and he was the one who was actually very passionate about having an association whereby we create interest for people to be involved in the craft making of textiles.
And how did you
successful, but I have the knowledge, and I'm capable, confident that I can, because of my background in textile, and I can impart my knowledge and experience, into this matter of textile design.
And did you start on your own, or did you have a team with you? Did you have to go and look for people?
For Chitra?
Yes, for Chitra.
Chitra is basically an association, right? Of course, we invited people to join, and with the name Tengku Ampang Pahang as patron, a lot of people wanted to get involved. So that is a good attraction for us, for them to come in and be part of the association. But in terms of ability to impart, the right knowledge about textile, I think we are the very people that you should consult.
I'm looking at the audience here. So anyone with any textile projects? We have on the panel.
Yeah, because I have the connection, not just locally, I have connection with the ASEAN textile community, as well as those from the foreign, from England and America. So I am very confident of linking people with the right connection, with whatever interest you are in, if you want it.
What would you say was one of your main challenges when you first started Chitra?
People want to join, but some of them panas tai ayam, they want to, but they don't have the commitment, the time to give fully their participation for them. Why aren't you having a microphone? Oh, okay, right.
It's okay. I will move the mic on now to Sharifah.
Before you go on, let me just introduce Sharifah. Actually grew up in Terengganu. Our houses were separated by a fence. So she's actually from Terengganu, as I am.
And were you both in textile at the time, or was it just being neighbors?
No, she was just...
And so how did you start Poya? Because from what I read from your website, you started in your house in the 1990s.
By the way, Poya is my nickname. My name is Sharifah, they call me Mahya. So I find a shortcut way, Poya, because as I travel for things, you get to the foreigner, they cannot mention your name. It becomes Farida, Sharifah, you say Poya, fine. And my family said, okay, go for it. So that's the trick. Yeah. Okay, I was a banker for 30 years.
A banker for 30 years.
Yeah, I was a banker. So I took the SS in the year 2000. There was nothing like fashionette, so we nothing. It was just like one basic thing. I don't know whether you like, I like money. I like money very much. So that turn around because when you talk about money, I can do until I'm 80 or 100. Because for us, mostly we say, you can buy dunia and jannah. You can do a lot of things. So I'm being inspired by working hard and application is what I'm doing. That's it. No, that's it. So how I start the business? Because when I want to find a replacement for my salary, I took the SS in the year 2000. I don't know what to do. So I was daring enough to go to the SS money to open a shop in Bangsa. So the SC put there, it has to be traditional. Well, because I'm not a designer, very basic, I was thinking I would copy by talking to clients and get things done. Simple as that, So along the way, I started the boutique Poya and I tested on myself to wear a kurung or fire. Because of a good body shape, I don't look good in there. How do I impress the customer? If I have a height, I do it.
But so at that time when you came out of the bank, you were already doing traditional baju or brooches?
No, it was a rental. It was just to rest and then I just do it part-time.
we were teenagers, we were in school. And then I remember because when we started, actually Korean brooches, we were selling at the bazaar of BSC. So we were always there. That's how BSC management came and approached us and said, would you like a lot upstairs? But we don't want you to just be selling brooches. We want you to sell more. And then that's when they kata, we need a specialty shop. Kan? Dia cakap, lepas tu boleh tak baju kurung? So that's how we started. And then as a teenager, of course, my weekends were there. My school holidays were there.
Okay, and when your mom was moving, because you knew her as a banker, and then now you know that she's going to open this shop, was she any different? Was there like having to spend more time with her with textiles and education?
I think one thing I can say about my mother, yes, her love for money is one thing, but I think one thing about her is once she sets her mind to it, then dia menghayati pekerjaan itu. So her love did not come from her passion for clothes initially, but once she started the business, like she said, she's not like 6 tall model like. So she needs to know for average people macam mana nak pakai baju tu jadi cantik. So I think itu yang dia.
I can't even sew button.
That was her challenge.
Zero knowledge. So bila I fikir kurung senang kan? But then I come to problem. Not everybody is well.
And I think for both of you, when you started Chitra and when you started your business, in your mind, did you ever think that your daughters were going to be handed the business or come into Chitra? Or did you just, or did not at that time, did it even, it's like, I'm doing this business for...
I have always had her in mind to carry on whatever I do. Yeah, because my other daughter is not interested in this. She is more of a musical, she's more into that kind of thing. This one is more creative in the sense that she's more like me in terms of interest. Yeah? So I see her as somebody who could continue with what I have started.
So as you were going through, you knew you wanted to...
I think she got no choice.
As for me, I never ever wanted to invite them into the business, neither I want them to join. My first thing is money for myself. I say sincerely because I lost my job. So she has got a mind of their own. It's not easy to manage younger people nowadays, to ask them to follow. So I said, not to join me, go and do work. Not until one day, one after the other offered me, and I joined you. That's where I am.
So you waited for
I'm
them.
not obligated.
Thank you, that's a nice...
Yeah, she never I said
And I think that's a nice bridge to the daughters. What are your earliest memories of your mother working with the boutique? Or I think you shared briefly, or with your mom joining Chitra? Were you what age were you at that time when Chitra started, and how involved were you?
Chitra was this, hi everybody, Nini here. I start with it. Sebab ada banyak correction.
I'm slowly building it up, okay?
Ma seems to think life started from Chitra, but actually my life started with my mother ever since I was 3 years old. And I was always the artistic one, and I think her role there for me has always been like, I paint on the walls, go right ahead, Nini, in fact here's the brush. So she's always been my teacher ever since I was young. And I wanted to be art. She always segged me into something else. She never wanted me to do textiles. Yeah. But I was surrounded by her work ever since she was in ITM. So I would used to go to ITM, and she would use me as the example to rendahkan maruah the students. Look at my daughter, she can do it better than you. What is wrong with you? I was using it, and I'd be like, oh my god, this person's crying, right? There's like, oh my god, final year assessment, and she really good. But I wasn't. I think, but also learning how she taught people and was strict. And she had theories and she had rules and she had always use your brain. PK. So those are the things that I kind of like took from her growing up. And then fast forward, I went into visual communications, I did media, blah, blah, blah. When I decided to retire from media in 2019 is when my mother actually said to me, "You now take over Chitra," very dramatically. And I'm going, what is Chitra? You know, so because I've been seeing Mom work. So Chitra established in 2013 with two very artistic people. What do you call this association now? Chitra tradition. Okay, let us submit and put it in and register. And she got somebody, Zul, to become the secretary, and he did all the paperwork. So mind you, it's very like conceptual. Chitra is like community. It needs to be a community of textile lovers. What was in it was never really truly formed until I joined. So it was dormant for a while. So when I came in, I had to look at audit. Hey, I said, Nini, go and ask from Tourism Malaysia for money. I said, okay, where's the accounts? And then I'm like, you have not audited your accounts. So I had to do all of that. And then I launched it, pandemic happened. But what Mom and Co could do, which is like the whole of Chitra community, is that they could, during pandemic, get members through her power and knowledge. So in between Chitra, we did a lot of things together as well, like running Asian symposiums, and she would just call people, Dr. Dimlada, can you come to Malaysia and give a talk? And she rallied people, and she created the symposium through her handphone. And by the way, the children at home were doing all the Word, Microsoft PowerPoint for her lah, because she's like, I don't know, whatever you do. So that was Mom's teaching. So yeah, I just wanted to contextualize my journey in textile started early. And it came and went, and when I took over Chitra, we needed to build it from a capacity point of view as well. And like Mom said, a lot of people wanted to join for the fact that there was a royal patron who then did not become our patron. So Chitra was on and has been on their own for a while. Yeah, because she's like, oh, I have too many associations, so you guys go on your own. And that's when I realized the power of community and the power of Chitra needed to come from our love for textiles. And I'm very happy to say that most of you are the members of Chitra. And please hold on, we do have a program coming up soon. I'm sorry to take up so much.
Just introduce John Ahmad. He's one of our strong members who is like basically a crowd puller.
Yes, we know John. Welcome, we're privileged having here today as well. Yeah, and Katrina.
Sorry, what would you like to know?
I think it's, so how when you were growing up, how was your experience with your mom in the business?
Okay.
Yeah, so for example, how did you get involved, like early on, because when she had the shop, you said you had to man the shop.
Yeah.
Was it something you wanted to go into? Were you inspired by it? Or were you like, please don't make me work this weekend? How was it?
Of course. Well, as I was growing up, I always tried to get out of it, but never do. Growing up, okay, my experience growing up from her banking days, but she never mentioned, dia dah memang working on 2 jobs, even when she was in the bank. Because she was already selling brooches, right? At the bottom, at the room on the, at the bottom room, she turned a bedroom into the boutique inside the house. So her bank branch was very close to her house, so she would use lunch hours and after hours to bring customers in. So my very first experience...
Banking customers?
Huh?
Banking customers?
Banking customers, neighbors, whoever who wants to buy brooches will know our house in USJ 9 at that time.
Sorry, just a bit of a backtrack. Where do these brooches come from?
She would travel. So she, to Korea.
Korea?
Yeah.
The finance to start with Korean brooches.
In Korea?
Yeah. while juggling her full-time job. So my memory is that yes, she's very hardworking, and also we are so used to strangers coming into the house. And while she would travel, and then she would buy brooches, but if she finds a chair that she likes, she'll bring it over. She'll find a bouquet, she'll bring it over, and she'll decorate the house. So today I will see this table. Tomorrow this table not there anymore. I'm like, Umi, where's the table? Ada orang suka, dia dah beli dah. So dah jual. So that has been my experience growing up. So she, everything we use has some sort of price tag inside the house. Yeah, she's very colorful in that sense. Yeah. So that was my experience growing up. And of course, like every weekends or whatever, it's the whole family coming to the bazaar and sitting down and selling with her together. I'll be playing at the back and she'll be like entertaining customers. So that was how it started. And then every time Raya Bazaar, and then after she started her shop, I would spend weekends there. Sometimes because there's nobody at home and I would go to the shop, or just she needs extra hands, so my sister and I would be there to lipat baju, ini, itu, macam-macam lah. So it has always been that. And as I grow a little bit older, she got a Nona invite for photo shoot. I'm like the unpaid model, that child unpaid model to pakai baju kids ke apa-apa macam tu lah. So so what I'm trying to say here is like Poya, the business is very synonymous with all of her children. We have been very involved in it's just part of our life.
And I think what's interesting then is basically after that, when you and Adilah's sister, went to school and graduated, you both didn't want to go into Poya?
No, it never crossed our mind because like she said, she never invited us. So we thought like, okay lah, then biasalah, like we will follow the route of habis belajar, buat degree, lepas degree, apply kerja, and just
What was your degree?
engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, and I always tell her today, why didn't you send me to a fashion school? At least if I had known this was going to be my track. But she's like, because I didn't know whether you want to be in it or not. So I'm like, okay.
I had that too. I was like, why didn't she send me to fashion and textiles as well? Mom, she made me go to visual communications, which was a multimedia. It's an art thing, but it was like more than. I also wanted to be an animator, and I fought with her. I remember that was very uncomfortable. Why can I not be an animator for Walt Disney? But she's like, mother's knows best actually. But I wanted to add on to this whole bringing things back into the house. My mother used to bring back people. So yeah, she's a collector of people.
Same.
So every time I would pick her out for one of her trips, there's like a group of people. I remember she brought back somebody from the islands, that family. Where's it from? It was a group. Like I want to say Papua New Guinea kind of, right? Because she was bowling at the time, and then she had a family of people. Bring it back, Nini. And then my brother and I were like, who's following Mom at the back? I said, don't worry, they're staying with us for a month. Even when we were going to a trip to Pekan where I met Umi in 2019, there was hitchhikers on the way to Pekan. Mom's like, pick them up, Nini. Why? And then put them in the car, and then we had a smell, tak mandi kan? And I said, padan muka, you sit at the back with it. But to that point, I think Mom's secret sauce is people. And that she had the knack of trying to engage with people and getting people on board. And I learned that a lot from the communication of how do you interact with human beings. I think I learned from her.
I think we've got a bit of background of the parents now. Now I'm going to go into working together. We can have questions at the end, so if you've got any burning questions, please hold on to that. How did you first start? How did you first go into Chitra? Was it initiated by yourself or your mom? And same with Poya, who initiated that first step to say, can you come and work with me, or I want to work with you?
Should I say? As for me, I told my children, no, nobody is joining me. You have your qualification, your degree, you got masters, pursue your career. I wouldn't want to be obligated because you are married. Me, 4 months, you don't have to pay my salary. I have money. That's what the offer from him, not from me.
To add on why, okay? Because I'm just like Nini, sama juga. It was the peak of COVID that I left my job. Okay, so the peak of COVID, this is my view as her daughter. For any business, is going through a hard time during COVID, wasn't it? Okay, so she was going through a hard time with the business as well. When my sister was already in it was a very hard time for any business for the matter. But so I felt like I had the urge to step in and help because I could see where I can contribute during that time. Waktu tu, Boya is operating a boutique, but we had none of the digitization. So I thought that this is the time, there's no other time. This is the time that I need to step in and digitize the business. So that's why I offered myself to her. I said, let me help you digitize the business. Give me 4 months without salary, but 1 year lah, I cakap. Give me 1 year, I want to set up your website, I want to set up your Shopify, or everything so that we are reachable dari luar juga. Because at that time, the boutique couldn't be open, so how else are we going to sell? We still have overheads and all that. So that's how I got in.
So when you proposed to your mom the digitization of the business, what was the reaction?
She saw the gap.
Okay.
She saw the gap.
Okay.
What happens after that?
Okay. So sorry, just to share a bit, I'll backtrack to Adilah. So Adilah, I used to work with Adilah in advertising, and Adilah was reporting to me. Every year we would have our review, and every year she says, I think I should join my mom. Every year, I think I should join my mom. I say, you go and think about it, make a choice. Then she comes back and says, no, not this year. Not this year. 5 years down the line, she says, I'm actually ready. And I remember she came and handed in her resignation letter, and she started tearing. So when I saw the tears, I'm like, she's ready. Right? Because it was hard. The decision was already hard to make. And then I said, okay, go. I think you've learned more than you can. And I'm actually really, really glad to see where Boya has come. Yeah. Sorry, quick share. So the question was, at which point did you ask Nini to come in, or did Nini put up her hand and say she wanted to come in? Switch it back to how you
It's a kind of a natural progression, because she sees me doing all these things at home, and she became interested in it. She would come and join me and things like that. I said, oh, this guy, this girl, they have the interest, she's got me now. And plus the fact that she's very creative, that helped. And that's how it started. Otherwise, I would be on my own, there's no follow through. My other daughter is into music, so, another creative activity, but
yeah, it was rather natural. Like, I used to work with Mama a lot, like in everything that she used to do, especially when she was running her events. I would be her assistant, or if she went traveling, she came back with lots of fabrics. I would ask her where it was from, how was it made, so she always involved me in the stories of the fabrics. And I was very intrigued on a personal level because I was studying surface pattern design at the time, and I was trying to get her to teach me. She was like hard, so she was teaching me in bits and pieces through theory, and that's been the story of my life, yeah. So to be exact, the official invitation was in 2019.
I wanted her to be actually a graphic artist, not textile. Because I didn't find textile interesting for her, And I envisaged her as being somebody in the advertising line.
Which I really did not. It was a hard no for me. When I came back from this UK, the first thing that she did for me was take me around all her friends who ran advertising businesses. And I looked at it and I went, no. I didn't like it. And she sent me to so many, and I said, Then finally, how I ended up in TV was through my father.
Okay.
So my father said, stop faffing about, go and see fella in TV3, and that's how it started for me.
Okay. And now you're all in the business, right? You've all started working together. When was the point where you realized when you
a diversion. Anyway, people will go to her, then come to me. So it's like, okay, don't talk to Nini. Can you pass on the talk? That's it.
Oh, okay. So basically, as soon as you came in, everything was on it.
Channel.
Right.
I wanted to back out, slowly back out, because I think when you're in it too long, people get bored and tired of your face anyway.
Was there any sort of on hindsight, any moments of disagreement that you can share specifically?
Do we disagree? We probably have at times disagree on certain things.
Maybe you're allowed to speak.
I know. We disagree all the time. Let's just call a spade, Fats. It's just. But the thing is, it's a partnership. So I call her Fatimah, and a lot of people think that it is an Haka situation, but she's like a colleague in that sense, and she's very professional when it comes to working together. And I think that's the bond, the relationship that we have.
How many children would call the mother Fats? That's why they put them up Fats or Fatimah, publicly. How many? Well, just like they call, it's okay. That's good.
Yeah, it was so bad. Like at some point, I think it was hard for her to put with mana nak duit kembali Terengganu kan. Fatimah tu siapa? I was like, oh my god, Nini, you're calling your mother Fatimah. But it was just a joke. It started as a joke because when I went to Australia, all the parents, all the children were calling them by the first names. When I came, I was like, that's what I was saying. Stopped it from that.
But did you call her on it? Did you say not to call me Fatimah?
No, she never did. She went with it, which is what I think the beauty of her is that she allows me this freedom to speak my mind and to do whatever that I want. And she's very cool about it. She has never told me or reprimanded me for being rude or whatever like that. And I really appreciate that because I think I do cross the line sometimes.
Maybe I was my fault also to allow that too much freedom,
But it's headstrongness. So some clashes happen at meetings. Our Chitra meetings can go on for 2 hours. And I will talk, I said, this is what we need to do. And then at the end, she will totally veto the whole thing. And we go, why? And so I'm bored of that. No, we're not doing that. And it will go back to her ideas. So I think sometimes if she wants it a certain way, then she wants it a certain way. And she will find a way to make it happen.
So, and I guess that leads to my next question. So during these clashes, how do you find a middle ground? Or like you say, are you just vetoed out of it?
Oh, why don't you take it? I've been talking about so many.
I wanted to hear your No, this is a follow-up from your. Yeah, I will get to know you.
What do I do? Do I veto you back, Mom?
I can't remember, Nini. Honestly, we don't have that very many arguments, really.
Cute. Okay, so I think at the end I will usually have a conversation about it, and I will try and understand where she's coming from because there's wisdom there always.
But I do find her headstrong views of that quite maddening. I tolerate it.
What did she call me? Domineering, Gestapo. I mean, those are all terms that I hear all the time. You're so forceful, Nini. That, I get it all the time.
And sorry, back to Boya, when you started working with the business, what were some of the disagreements that you would have? Or can you remember something specific?
Baru gaduh semalam. Different. We have, I would say, I think we went into the business knowing that we will have clashes.
My husband said, jangan ajak Katrina masuk. Dia tu orang cerdik, kepala dia tak kekok you. That's the part that they want. So, because I have 2 daughters, Adilah, already so.
You asked about what's the middle ground. The middle ground for us is Adilah.
Okay, sounds like it.
The middle ground for us is Adilah.
But it is my favorite of that.
Would you like to add on?
In my defense, you need to fail to learn, right? So, but I think, that's the dilemma of a business relationship with family. I know she loves me very much as a daughter, and all she wants is try to protect her children. But at the same time, it's also a business of many uncertainties. So of course, I am the more gung-ho one. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So for her, she's worried about me actually. So I understand where she's coming from. 6 years ago, 2020, I was very, gila, change, everything I want to change. Macam tu. But I think, maturity also sets in through experience and all that. So I understand where she's coming from. Like, she has set up the business when I joined for 20 years. So obviously it's another baby. That's my sibling, so the love for the nurturing of the business, memang it's all her. So for someone to just come in, now that I have the wisdom lah kan, dah pandai sikit. But so for me to come in and say we got to change this, now we wanted it. So obviously nobody would like it. It's just literally like coming into somebody's house and wanting to change the furniture. So, of course, so that has cost us a lot of heated up arguments. And I think a lot of compromise from both sides. I think she's also trying to understand that, because like I said, she admitted that there is a gap of how she runs the business and where the business needs to be now.
So in this heated argument,
There's the comfort zone because there's Adilah. Between she and me, there's Adilah.
Buffer.
That's why. Because budak-budak, she has got a lot of ideas. But the presentation tu, really upset.
Kita nak macam tu kan. Cara. Dah pandai sikit dah sekarang. Sikit dah.
I didn't expect Adilah to be the middle ground, but that's great. Okay, and I think for the mothers, what has been a contribution to your organization and business that you recognize as being something that was what the business or organization needed? What was that skill? What was that knowledge? What was the contribution yang mereka bawa? One or two.
As for Chitra, which is an association actually, not a business, probably her personality is the drawing factor for people to join.
And what about the personality?
Yeah, she's quite well known, isn't she? Celebrity.
Yeah.
The fact that she has a very famous husband. People want to get to know her. Yeah, it is true. Sometimes it works that way. So anyway, I forgot your question.
So the answer to the question is... And your husband...
She does all the creative things, what I can't do. I pass down to her, pass it on to her. And that way she learns both ways. My childhood is different. It's my rapport with people. I guess she sees that as a thing that she should learn from. I have very good, relations as far as communication with people are concerned. And I am very, very skillful as well as knowledgeable about my craft. So she wants to learn.
So she brought creativity, her Instagram followers, and her husband.
And the mother-in-law is there.
And for yourself, what was the main contribution that Katrina brought into the business? A lot.
That's a lot. Because I always say, I run a business like makcik kampung, just working. And the both of them, they do everything. They are but a lot of things on enhancement, a lot of things. So they bring for you to my event.
Or date was one of it.
So I kind of now 3/4 is already there. 1/4 because I
to the daughters, what is something that you came to understand about your moms only after you joined them in their business and their association? That means before that you didn't see it, right? And then you could only appreciate it after you started working with them.
I truly started seeing how valued she was amongst the artisans and the textile community, simply because you just have to say it's mom and people come. And Chitra, a lot of them are there for her, not for me, for her. And I truly value that, because you never see that when she comes home, she's fat to us, right? She's in her Kalawa Baju and she's on her Instagram. But people see and value her as a teacher. Every time I come and see the students, they are giving her so many. So I really appreciated her wisdom and her power, the power of her her relationships with people.
Sharifah?
For me, I think what I really valued after coming in is just how hard she worked. Oh my God, business is hard. And I'm doing it with my sister. And to think that she's done it for 20 years by herself, raising us, managing business, and also working in a bank for some parts of it. Business is hard. So I think coming into this and actually trying to do it myself, then I become more appreciative, and I feel her, like how much she has dedicated her life into the business, into changing her fate, into raising all of us. I think that was my big realization after joining her.
Can I add one more thing?
Please,
I
go
think
ahead.
this is the one that was truly something that I discovered on my own. We talk about legacy and we talk about what I thought the Chitra would be the legacy. But in fact, what my mother taught me was education, how to be a teacher. And she was always so generous with her knowledge. And she gave so much to go up on Pahang and all that. She spent so much, and I always said, you should be paid, you should be paid, you should be paid. And she goes, Nini, stop it. Just give. When people are asking for knowledge, give it. And I do the same now. In my position, in my professional career, I will always spend time and tell people where to look for things. Because that is truly what my mother taught me. And the thing that I could not see before. Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. Anyway, people pay so much attention to money, you know what I mean? Is you want something, you have to pay for it. And they so like approach you and say, okay, we're willing to give you so much, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, it's not necessary. It's just that whatever I can give to you, and it's of value to you, I give it for free. It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay.
And the risk comes back to her, always.
Okay, I'm actually going to open it up to the floor now. Do we have any questions for the pairings that we have, mothers and daughters?
I've seen.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
This is an important question because it talks about your love for money and how much you really love money. Okay, so think about the question carefully. Can you reveal to us the price tag behind your daughter?
Not for sale. When I talk about money, I talk into me jumping into a field that I have no knowledge at all. And the challenges having a shop in Bangsa, you are dressing up people who knows how to dress up. It's the cream of the cream, yes. That is the biggest challenge. And you also, you don't dress like them. They got club, they got this. You give them for free also. They wouldn't want because of this. So that is the challenges. So when I come in, how I make sure they much challenging. Okay, macam mana? Oh, this body is like that. I identify a few areas that I have to address. So today, there's so many different kinds of baju atau kebaya, but it's not about what we inherit. A bit of revamping and adjusting to the new stream, because I plan for the generation next for country to take over.
What's my first step
Yeah,
there?
so that so they want to learn to make kebaya, kurung. So that thing, that's my reflection.
So I guess like with
Okay, that's the answer your question. It's about money.
No, love for money.
I guess it's how much would you value money-wise? Yeah, Katrina.
Tu nak lagi long.
Priceless. Priceless.
Meaning that kalau Katrina tak ada, business I dah tutup.
That's the value.
And with the latest, people reach out to people, it's not your time anymore. So both of them, they believe, oh yeah, insyaAllah to another generation.
Alright, any more questions? Yes, Afiza.
Hi, I'm Afiza. Initially, when you said your mom was always giving, and then you learn how to give as well, I was thinking, was it scary for you to keep giving in the beginning? And then, I think from there you can bring it the question to both of you. What scared you when you first joined? What worried you? I mean, is there anything that scared you at first when you first joined?
Giving was hard for me because obviously it would be like, what am I going to get in return? You're always, that's my time. And you're going to go and take away, and you're going to claim that knowledge. But hell, it came from me or from mom. So I had that sort of like mindset for a very long time until I realized that you just have to let it go and it'll come back in a different form. And that your intention when you give to is important. Why are you giving away what you need to give away? And then once you are okay with that intention, then whatever comes, however, if it's written, not written, it's okay. So that was something that I needed to kind of like change my mindset for, because not everything had a value, like hard cash value, Sometimes it's about nurturing relationships. Yeah. Sometimes it's about getting somebody to be part of your family, and that is longer than straight up like, okay, what's my ROI tomorrow? And the scariest part is living up to this, living up to, because it's wisdom. How do you live up to experience and wisdom? And that is, and I realize that it's not about emulating her wisdom, it's about trying to find my own and trying to create my own, but in her spirit. I know, that's it.
For me, the art of giving also, I learned a lot from my mother. Although in business, she says she loves money, but truthfully, why she loves money is because that's how she gives. So through money, she can help others. Through money, she can enable others. Through money, she can lift others. So growing up, because she came from Terengganu kan, sama-sama kampung. So she's very much in touch with families yang susah ke, yang apa ke. So I grew up watching that. So yes, she's very much money oriented here, but because she gives a lot on the other side. Wow. So for me, what I learned is actually belajar untuk mengikhlaskan. So to be sincere. I think that is something that what giving is about. Yeah, like what Nini said, not to expect anything back, but believe that it will come in folds. But only God will decide how and when that happens. But you have to learn to be sincere. So I'm at that stage of sincerity. Bagi RM10 apalah, tapi to give more, to do more, what? Like that is something I'm learning, and I hope to be so much better than I am today. The next question is apa? uncertainty, of course, leaving a very comfortable job with a consistent paycheck, not only having a pay cut, but also what was the future then, because it was COVID. But I think that was the time I felt like I need to, if this is the time that my mother needs me, it's now, because the business might shut down, and the business is what survives the entire family. So I need to do this now. So that was the uncertainty at that time, and it's still now, because business is very uncertain.
One last fear, that I'm not doing it fast enough,
Oh yeah.
that I don't
Yes.
get to get Chitra to a point where she's happy. And before she... This is my fear, Mom.
The thing is, with me, it's never a question of money. I give. That's it. I never think of return.
Sorry, we've got a question at the back. At the back?
Yes, hello everyone. I speak Malay lah, because I got my guru in the front. They speak English. She always correct me. Sebenarnya saya salah seorang member of Citra, tapi saya dalam background trading, jadi from Kota Baru. So I start trading batik since 1991, long time back. And when I came to Kuala Lumpur, datang Kuala Lumpur, our customer is kita big. Pada zaman arwah Datuk Seri Indun, so we start how to selling batik to the upmarket people. Otherwise, we always do the kita jual batik hanya untuk orang kampung. So that's why we go Kelantan, your design, your motif. If you go one shop, you will find all the shop is same. Because mostly we're traders, we're trading, we look for the money. Even we can sell, we sell. But when the Citra coming in, I know Citra from our Professor Sulaiman Ghani. Yes, he come to our gallery, our shop in Kota Baru, and teach some of the student, like Ahmad student and the Professor student, very successful in Kota Baru. Most of them, they are doing what I need, like in KL market, because my customer is little bit high-end people. I started from Khairudin. He come to Bazaar Kubu, he go to our shop, so he started, and where now I'm joining because I love, now I feel in love in textile, so that's why I joined. And also I want to ask, because before this we have so many presidents in textile, in Citra, but now I find like chemistry Nini and the founder. So now it's like very I don't know what chemistry they have, but I look because Citra I think 2013 kan we found 2013, only we can at least 2019, and we have the launch late after COVID, 2020. You know, it's long journey. Because we want to preserve the textile. I don't know before about to preserve or take. I want money only. So my question is, how now Nini, the president, and with the founder, they make so nice as environment, and the people love of them. When I go to Baru, okay, come, we give free food, whatever, and I can even come okay like this. So we love them because they make value of the batik actually. Because from Baru we selling batik. Nah, how saya punya soalan, macam mana kami dengan ini dia dapat jadikan Citra ni sesuatu yang lebih menonjol, you know, yang mana saya sebagai ahli lah, sebab saya biar daripada ahli Citra, sebab kita nampak kehebatan dan kelebihan dua orang ni, tetapi dia orang tunggu je macam mana nak boom dapat sesuatu benefit daripada.
So I guess it's how to elevate each other.
Yes. Thank you
Thank you.
Terasa macam AGM Citra. Tapi tak apa.
Okay.
Tak apa. Sekarang ni because you know I work at Yayasan. It's a slow journey, and I think Citra members need to see it that Chitra members have to contribute rather than and just rely on the two of us. We want more participation with our members, so that's our hope. Young Chitra members will activate more activities within to build.
Okay, and I will circle back to one last question.
Yeah, I have a question. So to basically, Andrea, is now that you are kind of taking over, you're the next generation, what is your own ambitions for Poya? Maybe IPO, I don't know. And for Nini, because you guys are now taking over the helm, and what's your own personal ambitions for a company or vision that you want for the company that you are inheriting from, or an organization that you're inheriting from your mother?
I would, Chitra is an NGO now. My dream is for it to be a foundation. And my dream is for it to be a foundation where we can have school and build and all that. So, but that takes a while because right now we need to get our act together to make sure that we have a solid. And I am using this time in this other foundation to learn how to do so. So this is a 10-20 year project for me.
Wow.
For me, for Poya, adalah IPO. I don't think, simply because I think the dream is for Poya to be a multi-generational business that is known for Malaysian traditional fashion. So she lasted 20 years, I hope to continue 20 more years, and I hope our daughters will continue this. And let it be macam, kita selalu guna example Royal Selangor, pewter, where it is a generational family business that just grows and grows with a core value which is sustaining and keeping the traditional fashion alive. So I think that is the dream. Hopefully it can get through education or whatever ways to sustain this effort. So yeah.
And on the side, Adilah and Katrina has been working with us naturally. And they have gone and liked national traditional textiles, and they've gotten into that. Yeah, so they've gotten into deeper education about heritage textiles, and they're applying it in their brand now, which is great. And I think that's kind of like the way forward for us. And hopefully we can grow together.
Yes.
Anyway, I just want to add on to that. Before this, people cannot, normal people, everyday people can't identify what Malaysian textile is like, the design. They always like import Indonesian as Malaysian, which is not right. So I am trying to get people to see the difference between Malaysian design as opposed to Indonesian design. Yeah, I'm not successful yet, but slowly it's getting there. To show the difference. But you cannot. The Indonesians get very angry with us for they think that we're stealing the. It's not stealing. It's just that people cannot identify the local content yet. They always look at Indonesian for inspiration.
And I think on that note, I'm actually going to wrap up the panel. I would really like to thank each and every one of you for being here today and sharing so openly, about each other and being very candid in front of each other. Thank you for joining us as part of the Inspired by Dekat exhibition, which has been funded by Yayasan Hasanah. And please enjoy the exhibition. The artworks that you see here today are for sale. We've still got F&B. And can I have a huge round of applause for our panel today?
Thank you. Thank you, Sharmin, for joining us.
Yes, thank you. And I think they'll still be around. So if there are any more burning questions, please approach them. As you can see, they're all really friendly and very open. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we've got a small token of appreciation for each of you.